Hey guys, Vincent here. I thought I'd go over some footage from July 2022 targeting snapper and crayfish. Winter in the far north or around Whangarei, which is my local, is really good time to target these species. The snapper in really good condition and the other species such as kingfish are kind of quieting down during these winter months. So hopefully you guys enjoy this footage. On this particular day, I'd gone out with my girlfriend Amy. We'd taken the inflatable boat out to a spot that I dived a week prior with my mate Max. We'd done really well during that dive, and I think we limited out on crays and got a few really nice snapper, with one going almost 20 pound. So we knew this area was holding good fish and was doing really well. We first started off by checking some crays. To do this, we actually parked the boat about 50 to 60 metres away from the cray gut, where I knew there were a few good ledges between the boat and the cray. And I started snooping, and basically was just hoping to see if I could pick up a snapper earlier in the trip rather than later. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a snapper while snooping from the boat to the cray spot, but that is fine, and so we decided to get stuck into a few crays. This first cray was literally one of the first dives. Just dove down, checked this boulder, found him using a torch. Super helpful when hunting crays. Not many people actually carry them, but highly recommend carrying a torch. I thought he was going to be quite easy to grab. Went in, kind of got in on my side and grabbed him, and spent quite a while trying to tussle and try and fight him out. My grip wasn't quite good on the horns, and I tried to reshuffle, and he gone. He was boosting. The hole could actually go back quite far, and I didn't quite realise that. So sadly, lost the first cray, but luckily there were quite a few around. I found this really nice cave full of crayfish. They weren't really big. Most of them were probably undersized, but after looking around for a little while, I managed to find one that was of good size. You can see me here just lining them up, taking a grab. It wasn't massive, a little bit over legal and for a male, but super tasty nonetheless. I'm not the best at recording, and I quite often miss a few things. After grabbing this cray, Amy and I actually got another couple, so that was enough. We tied them on our rope, and then we headed back to the boat and decided that after 3 crayfish, it was about time to go and start chasing some snapper. The first way Amy and I decided to go and target snapper was through snooping. So snooping in New Zealand is very productive, especially in winter. It doesn't require any attractant like burley, and you basically just swim coastline and you try and cover basically as much distance as you possibly can. And the more distance you cover, the greater chance you are to actually see any snapper. I got really lucky with this one, and I didn't have to swim that far. And I basically just hopped over a ledge that I've swam over many times before and never really seen that much. But for some reason, this snapper here, as you can see, basically comes in and just swims right up to me. And it doesn't happen very often. It's happened a few times, but to get such a nice snapper to basically just swim up to the end of the gun was really nice. I think what's happened is that I was staying really low, and the snapper was actually off in the distance and probably saw maybe my top of my head, my snorkel, maybe my fins, or even the tip of my gun. And I've probably just dipped below the edge, and he's probably lost sight of me, and he's got curious and come up and had a look, but that was a mistake for him. A few tips that really help when you guys are snooping is, one is just keep the sun behind your back. So snapper, very hard to see, especially the kelpies, the darker snapper. They're normally like a really dark color and parked up in the weed, and if you have the sun looking in your eyes, you guys are just going to really struggle. Another tip is try and swim into current. So the best thing is if you can do is line the sun and the current up behind you, mainly because snapper will sit face first into the current. Another tip that's also really good is be slow. When I first started diving and I really wanted to shoot snapper, I wanted to cover coastline quick, and I would just swim and swim and swim and swim. And I always thought, why did I just not see any fish? And as I've kind of done it a bit more, and I'm by no means an expert, but I've shot a few fish, just being slow, and you can swim quick, but when you're down on a ledge, try to not move too fast, because they got good eyesight, and if they're looking in your direction, they're going to pick up on the quick head movements, swinging the gun around. You want to be smooth and slow. When I'm snooping these sort of spots with a small boat like an inflatable, I don't often take a float or a float boat, so I've normally just got to carry the fish that I shoot in my hands and snoop my way back to the boat, or swim my way back to the boat. This can be a pain when you're trying to shoot a lot of fish, but in general, it really helps me think twice about the fish that I'm going to take. Like, if it's a 45 centimeter fish, I'll sit there going, is it worth the 200 or 300 meter swim back? Or is it worth carrying around it? And I think it really helps me shoot better fish, because I just sit there and I'm much more picky. And then I gotta wait, and then sometimes I don't shoot anything, but that's all right. Obviously, it's not really recommended in really sharky spots, probably in the middle of summer, as sharks do actually like snapper. Not as much as kingfish, but they will come out and they will have a go at it. So yeah, just got to keep that in mind, especially when swimming by yourself. This next bit of footage is from a burley. So after I'd got this fish back to the boat, I'd mucked around, done a bit more snooping. I'd shot a silver drummer, which is really good burley and quite common. I'd slashed it up over a deeper ledge in a bit of current, and yeah, just left that for I think about 30 minutes. Did a bit more snooping, got nothing, and then came back and checked it. And for me, burleying is probably one of the most reliable ways of shooting snapper. Like, snooping is really fun, and you can shoot some good snapper doing snooping, but for burley, especially far north, I think you can shoot some really good fish off burleying. Although it can be quite easy, and sometimes doesn't feel quite as satisfactory shooting them off burley. Yeah, I was really stoked to have shot this fish, especially since I hadn't been diving for that long. This was actually in the holidays. Apart from that 1 week prior, I hadn't been diving, I think, for about, at least up north, I think 5 months or something like that. So yeah, I was really happy to get shafted into this fish. When I first shot it, I thought it might have gone around that 20-pound mark, but I think it was just the 6 months of no diving talking. So yeah, from memory, I think it went around 18 pound or high, almost 80 centimeters, but not quite. I think it was about 79, 78, somewhere around there. So a really good fish, but not quite breaking that 20. I don't often get underwater photos of fish just because I'm normally diving by myself, but since Amy was with me, I gave her the GoPro and we jumped in and tried to get a few photos of this fish. Something I'm not really that good at, but I'm hoping to improve. And here's kind of the process of how you actually take photos that you see on Instagram and that sort of stuff. It's kind of a bit funny to watch sometimes, I think. Anyway guys, if you've really enjoyed this video and enjoyed the style of kind of video where I'm kind of talking to you guys about the diving and just explaining a few bits and pieces, let me know down in the comments below. Please subscribe, it really helps, and it's kind of a good indicator on whether people actually kind of like what I'm doing. If you guys want to stay up to date with a bit more recent, as I'm not overly quick at getting videos out, considering this is like 2-year-old footage, or 1-year-old footage, you can follow me on Instagram. That's probably the fastest way where you guys can keep up to date, and I'm much more active, and I'm hoping to be a little bit more active. I've just finished uni, so I've got a lot more time from now on, and I'll be moving back up north for at least the near future. So yeah, if you guys really enjoy it and you are interested in watching more, yeah, please like, subscribe, and yeah, follow me on socials to keep up to date with things. So thank you, and hope to see you guys again.